Good afternoon. If you are just joining us, it is Broad Street Radio, your number one authoritative business radio. My name still remains Charles Farcroa. This is the time where we begin to look at entrepreneurship education because we know entrepreneurs are God sent. Entrepreneurs are the engine of any economy. Entrepreneurs are the men and women, especially blessed to begin to take that risk and create employment for our youth. And that is why government at all levels, they are doing everything possible to see that our youths are taught the basis of entrepreneurial skill, so that instead of coming out from their various academic institutions to begin to look for jobs, they will now be creators of jobs. And that is what we want to achieve. So we on in Broad Street Radio, entrepreneurship is key for us. We want to see our youth, because we know that they have a lot of energy. We want to channel that energy to productive ventures where they can begin to create jobs for themselves and, of course, for their colleague, and at the same time creating them wealth. But in doing that, what are some of the rules of financial self-discipline if you're a business owner or you want to be a business owner? You have started making money. But if you don't manage your finances very well, there is a problem. So today we are going to be looking at rules of financial self-discipline for business owners. Yes. In the course of the year, I'm sure I'm going to get an entrepreneur who will talk about this thing and we'll look at practical examples how business owners can be financially disciplined, self-disciplined. Nobody's imposing it on you. You have to be self-disciplined for you to achieve not just only wealth, but become financially independent as an entrepreneur. Because you ask me, what is the essence of entrepreneurship? To create wealth. But in creating that wealth, you become disciplined. And in creating that wealth, it even goes beyond just making money. It's a spiritual call. I was seeing a program somewhere, and a question came up about somebody was saying, how will this festive period, the high class, middle class, and lower class, how are they going to spend and all that? How are they going to manage their finances? I said, managing your finances, financial planning is for everybody, whether you are in the high class, you are in the middle class, or you are in the lower class or lower class. Or are you going to tell me that financial plan is only for Aliko Dangote, Elon Musk, and some of those richest people in the world today? It's as equally important for them as the same time for that worker, that factory worker, okay, and also for the middle class. But I've always maintained that this class system will always be there. If you find yourself today, you are in the upper class, please do not look down at the middle class or the lower class. Because at any point in time in history, we must always have the lower class, middle class, and of course the higher or the upper class, the case may be. Though financial, economic situations can make people not recognize the middle class any longer. But they're not saying either you are rich or you are poor. But at the same time, the middle class, my advice for them is don't become so self-complacent that you think you are okay. Yes, you have a house, you have a car, you can train your children, you are okay, you work for a good company. Yeah, that's a middle class. What we are saying, why can't you begin to think of businesses you can create yourself now based on the experiences you have had, and create and support business. You might not be there directly. And also now begin to aspire to be in that upper class. Yes. At the same time, don't look down on those in the lower class. Oh, they are not hardworking. They are stupid. They are useless. No. Show compassion to them. Then those in the lower class, don't heavy those in the middle or upper class. Because you find yourself today in the lower class, tomorrow you can be in the middle or the upper class. So aspire, admire them, See how you can learn from them so that you can aspire to become middle class and the upper class. Yes, we have seen people who come from a very low background and today they are really up there. And that's why I say the meaning of poor is not that you don't have money or you are broke, you know. Poor means you pass over opportunity repeatedly. That's the meaning of poor. Don't allow your background keep you on the ground. Okay? And we have seen it. Thank God we have seen people from a very, very low background, and today they are at the top there. So what are these simple rules, of financial self-discipline? Number one, never live beyond your income. Yes, because your neighbor's children are in a particular school. You want to make sure your own children or your child goes to that school. Never live beyond your income. You receive, let me use 100,000 a month. You want to live beyond that 100,000. No. And that's why we on Broad Street Radio, we take time to look at your personal finances and see how you can live within your means. There is nothing stopping you if you work in a place you are paid 100,000 and you can do a side hustle, or your partner can also do something to supplement. But at no time must you live beyond your income. Make saving your top priority. We have been told that no matter how much you earn, saving is a matter of habits. And if you have not cultivated that habit, then you cannot save. The man who earns 70,000 minimum wage cannot save. That's what he will tell me. Increase his salary to 700,000, that's times 10. If he has not cultivated the habit of saving, with that 700,000 in a month, he cannot save. Because it's a matter of habits. That is the truth. So with 70,000 naira, you can save 7,000 naira a month. And have a system where you don't even see that 7,000 naira. Thank God, the new tax reform bill have said those minimum wage people will not pay tax. Okay? So, before your money gets to you, have an arrangement where 7,000 naira is kept aside. Or let's say it is 100,000 naira you are receiving. Ensure that 10,000 naira, you don't even see it. You don't even earn it. It goes somewhere. And that is what the Pension Reform Act is all about. So you contribute a certain amount, your employer contributes, and it goes somewhere. Okay? So then there's something I also realized, I must say it here for business owners. Do not spend, do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. That's given to us by Warren Buffett. But what do people do? They spend. Then after they have finished spending, they want to come and save, and they tell you there's no money left to save. So we are saying, save first. Spend what is left after saving. So you have to save first. I usually recommend 10%. And of course, I'll recommend the book, Richest Man in Babylon. You go and read that book. Yeah, so make savings a top priority. Number 3, keep 6 months of your living expenses saved. Yes, you know your living expenses in a month, and you can give an estimate. Ensure that you have 6 months of that in an account. That's an emergency fund. Like somebody will tell you, let life don't happen to you. I don't want to say Nigeria will happen to you. Life can happen to any other person. So ensure that you have 6 months of your living expenses already saved. Then avoid all high interest debts. Don't get involved in collecting loans with high interest rate. We have seen those ones. Is it loan app? Loan app and all that, And we see how they've been able to mess a lot of people, after taking the loan, a lot of problems here and there. So avoid high interest debt. Then monitor every naira you spend. That is, keep record of your expenses. That will assist you to know where your money is going. You can have track. Somebody will say, if I spend 100 naira. I spend 1,000. How will I be recording it? I am saying it is possible. There are a lot of apps, personal financial apps, budgeting apps that you can use to do that. But you on your own locally, at the end of the day, before you retire to your bed, get your jotter, get your biro, and begin to replay the day, the expenses you made. It's still fresh. You'll be able to write it down. I just write it, don't even total it, and keep it there. Just write it there, keep it. Day one, maybe on a Monday. Do the same thing. Day two. At the end, maybe on Friday, today now, just imagine today now, Friday, before you now sleep. Just look at it, total it, Monday, Tuesday, and you'll be amazed as to where the kind of spending you are making. And by the time you have seen it, the tendency for you to reduce it is there. So you need to monitor every naira you spend, invest early and consistently. That's the most important thing. Always, when you have saved money, try to invest that money. And the normally advice will give, you can invest in anything you want to invest, as long as you know what it takes. Always understand any investment you are going into. Or if you don't understand, try and get experts who have been doing that business. But for professionals, you're a business owner, you can invest in bigger companies, maybe the ones that are quoted on the exchange. You can buy shares in Total Fina Health. You can buy shares in Seplat. You can buy shares in First Bank Holding. You can buy shares in any other, so many good companies that are doing so well. Of course, your stockbroker will be able to advise you as to what you need to do. So invest early and consistently. Don't wait till the big money come. As okay, I'm waiting for so many money, a lot of money to come for you. No, consistently. If it's as low as 50,000, 20,000, even 10,000 naira, make it consistently. Then create and follow a realistic budget. People don't like the word budget, and I always tell them, okay, it can be planned spending. Yes, don't say it's a budget. What Nigeria has just signed into, maybe signed into law now, it's or let's say it's still a bill, is our planned spending and how we are going to finance those spending. That is it. So if a country like Nigeria can have that kind of plan, why can't you as an individual have it? You can do this, in collaboration with your spouse, but that can also enhance your communication. Again, in another show, maybe I'll be talking about, I'm talking about marital finance, where the husband and the wife will be on one page when it comes to their finances, because it is not just to wed. You have wedded, you're also married. There are two things. You need to sustain that marriage, and we have seen that finance is also a big problem when it comes to marriage and divorce here and there. So create and follow a realistic budget. In the course of the show on maybe investors education or personal finance, we'll go through budgeting and how to do a realistic budget for individuals. Wait before making your major purchases. You plan towards major purchases. You don't just go by the spur of the moment, or what I call impulsive buying, especially in this festive period. So wait before making major purchases. You want to make some major purchases. You want to buy a car, buy a car and other things. You need to really wait and plan for it. Never stop learning about money. You can always listen to Broad Street Radio. You can always go to our Facebook page and begin to see some of the things we talk about when it comes to money and other investment. And you can also even follow me on my own Facebook page and other social media handles. Yes, because you never stop learning about money. You just have to keep learning about money, especially even when you are even married. That's even the best time for you to learn more about money. So I'll be doing some special programs and events when it comes to marital finances. Then the last one, plan ahead for major life events. Yes, you want to, for a vacation, for travel, plan ahead. And for those who are not yet married, you want to marry, plan for it. Plan ahead for major life events. It's always very good, to plan. Then, of course, we can go into details, which we're going to be doing in the course of the year. Something like estate planning, your insurance plan, your tax plan, basically your personal finance. But today we're just looking at some of the basic rules for self discipline when it comes to your finances. So, money will always take you to wherever you want to go, but it will not replace you as the driver. If money talks, then all of us will need a hearing aid to understand what money is talking about. Money has an energy, a very positive energy, a very neutral energy. You can use that money energy to do good, to also do evil. But we believe that with the enlightenment you are getting, you treat money well, in the right way, deploy it. Because when you deploy money, money becomes a very loyal servant. But if you don't deploy it well, that same money becomes a tyrannical master. So let's have a good relationship with money as a business owner and control money. Don't allow money to control us. Thank you.